Hey, greetings, database warriors. Gosh, it's week 4 of the DTD2 cycle, which means it is H&V week. And by the way, the theme is have a career worth having. Now, by the way, look at the last 3 weeks. We had B&E, we had D&O, we have now H&V. It's the classic bold law, be, do, have. You want to have a great business, be the master of your database. Do the database too. And you're going to have great relationships. It gives you a predictable business. So let's talk about our journey this week. And as we sit here at week 4, this week's pro tip is going to be all about, well, it's going to go back to what we covered at week 2. We talked about Ford, and we said about staying out of call bias and reconnecting with folks. And I want to kind of share with you a lesson I learned from a lady named Barbara DeLamo. In fact, I'm driving down the interstate, and I get a phone call. And on my caller ID on the dashboard, it says Barbara DeLamo. And I'm going, who the heck's Barbara DeLamo? I can't place the name. It's a 210 area code, so I know it's San Antonio where I live. And so I decided to take the call. Now, don't judge me for what I did. I acted like I knew who Barbara was. I go, well, hey, Barb, what's going on? And she goes, well, hi, Steve. And I'm going to use Barbara's voice. She goes, hi, Steve. I was just calling to wish you happy birthday. And I'm going, well, Barb, thanks, but it's not like for another 3 weeks. She goes, I know, I want to be the first one. Am I the first one? I go, yeah, you sure are. You're the first one. And I'm still going, how the heck do I know this lady? Who the heck is Barbara? And so I just go with the flow. And Barbara, says, Steve, I took Bold from you in 2009, the very first Bold we did in San Antonio. Are you still coaching Bold? And I said, yeah, I sure am. And then she goes, I know when you came and did our Bold, you had a girlfriend that lived in San Antonio. What was her name? I said, Shelly. She said, yeah, you guys still together? And I said, yeah, we are. She goes, yeah, okay. Well, and she asked a few questions about Shelly. And then she said, I know you originally are from this area. You actually talked about possibly moving back to the area. Did you ever make the move? I'm going, yeah, Barb, I've been back in San Antonio 3 years. She goes, wow, I guess I missed that one. And of course, I told her, hey, we represented ourselves. And then she said, what are you loving about San Antonio? And we had a nice conversation. She actually gave me a couple of tips, nice brunch place. And then she said, what kind of big plans you and Shelly have coming up? And we talked about a trip to Egypt, a trip to Russia. We didn't go to Russia, by the way. Too much bad stuff was going on over there. And anyway, the whole conversation was maybe a short 5 minutes, 6 minutes top. And after we hung up, I felt completely connected with Barbara. And think about where that went. It went from going, who the heck is Barbara, to feeling completely connected and completely in flow. And as I hung up the phone, I'm going, dang, I just got Forded. She covered it all. You don't have to cover it all in a conversation, but she asked about Shelly, family, occupation, Bold, recreation. What are you doing for fun? What are you enjoying in San Antonio? Dreams. What kind of travels do you have coming up? And I'm going, wow, I just got Forded. And by the way, I felt completely connected with Barbara after this. But here's the bigger lesson. When I hung up the phone, I noticed it didn't say Barbara DeLamo. It said maybe Barbara DeLamo. And by the way, when it says maybe, that means they're in your correspondence. And so I get home and I look at my email. I'm going, where have I been communicating with Barbara? And guys, I have been getting an email from Barbara every 3 weeks for 7 years. 7 years. And my response when she came up on the dashboard is, who the heck is Barbara? The conversation is the relationship, as Susan Scott said. Now, by the way, to prove it, 3 weeks later, I got her email and I opened it. Another 3 weeks, opened it. Guys, the way you make the whole system work, it's in the foundation of doing DTD2, having your conversation. So again, this week it's H&V, have a career worth having. Stay on this track. It's going to pay massive dividends. See you next week.